they see a weakness in something that Tank does, and he's looking to, they think, to capitalize on it.
Well, Leonard,
I don't think so, but hey, he's gonna go in there and try and see what the results are.
Leonard, obviously Virgil Saunders worked with some of the top names in the sport before, but what does that say about Coach Calvin Ford and Kenny Ellis, who, they've been around, but this is obviously Gervonta being their biggest star?
Well, my problem with a lot of you guys is that they don't give Coach Calvin the credit that he deserves. Here it is. He's been with Tank from day one. From day one.
From scratch.
Yeah, from scratch.
From scratch.
We've seen, the skill set that Tank has and how he's developed, from early on in his career to where he's at now at this level, and he's continuing to not only pass the test, but he's acing the test. So again, you guys don't give Coach Calvin enough credit. I've always thought that he was one of the best coaches out there in the sport, and again. But like I mentioned to him, just keep doing what you're doing. Eventually, they can't deny you. I mean, it was no different. It was no different from Floyd Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? His dad or Roger never ever got Trainer of the Year. Never ever got Trainer of the Year. You know what I'm saying? But these are just the little things that really kind of turn me off a lot about, because everybody has their favorites. This and that, instead of just giving credit where credit is due.
I mean, you can see the imprint of his style with like a Lorenzo Simpson, right? That it's like a Calvin Ford style.
Well, most definitely, most definitely.
Because he fights like Tank.
Yeah, he's a tremendous coach, and again, he's just gonna keep doing what he's doing. And again, him and Coach Kenny, they're getting it in. They're getting it in. They have a tremendous stable of talent. And I think you're gonna see a lot of the youngsters kind of come behind him. Actually, we have one. Also, one of his Malik Warren, one of his pupils that's on our stable. Young, exciting young fighter, and you're gonna see a lot more to come about him in the near future.
Do you think? Speak on Jalil Hackett. He just made his debut, obviously last weekend on Sunday night. From the nearby area, DC area, your neck of the woods. Talk to us about some of the new young talent that you've added to the stable.
Well, yeah, as you mentioned, Hackett, he's a tremendous young talent. I think that he eventually he'll be champion in probably 3 or 4 different weight classes. He's already like 5'10", 10 and a half, and he's going to be eventually. I think he's fighting 47 now. He'll be a 54, 60, and possibly a 68-pound champion. Tremendous talent. He's obviously worked with Tank, and he's been able to push Tank. They worked once or twice in this camp because Jalil was obviously preparing, for his fight in Miami. Again, I can't say enough about him. He's one of the most talented young prospects out there in the sport.
One of the great things that Mayweather Promotions does is obviously your club shows here locally at Sam's Town. With things opening back up, when can we start to see some of that younger talent and just some of your local shows that you do there, Leonard?
Well, again, that's another great question. We're excited. Our first quote-unquote local club show will be next month. We'll be announcing the date here very soon. Andrew Tabiti's going to headline the show. So again, we've been able to do those shows, like every other month, when they're pre-pandemic, and it's a great stage and a platform for us to continue to develop our young talent, and again, give the local fans, an opportunity to come see these fighters as they develop. So we'll continue to do that.
I mean, we've seen some great names obviously fight. I remember maybe Tank's 3rd fight under Mayweather Promotions was at the Palms. A show you've done there. We've seen big names, so definitely excited to get those.
Angelo Leo,
yeah, Angelo Leo.
How about his next fight? Yeah, Angelo Leo.
Yeah. Again, just really excited about that. He's looking to get back in there. As we know that he came up a little short against Stephen Fulton, who's an outstanding fighter. But the beauty of that, when you have the depth of talent in that division, again, he's bouncing right back, and he's going to be in a good fight to kind of get back going. And he's going to be right back in the mix, in the thick of those things. And we know who the champions are out there. And again, I feel very confident he can beat all those guys. So again, Angelo Leo is a name that's going to be around for many, many more years.
Would you like a fight for him? You know, if he can get past Alameda with Danny Roman, and you know that would kind of seem like who could win that fight would get the title.
That's a very, very good fight.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Roman. You know, he's a good kid and very exciting young fighter. That's a terrific fight. But I don't know, you know, which fight I'm gonna make. You know, he's got to go take care of this first.
Right.
You know, again, I'm just not a big fan of of openly talking about things that's in my mind. You know, that we talk about as a team, because again, you know, we've seen this shit happen. As soon as you say some shit, then something else happens, and I let these other fighters do all of this. I mean, not other fighters, other promoters do all this talking, and you know, let them do that. We just execute. That's all we do.
Prime example, we just saw it was considered a done deal for AJ and Fury to be done in Saudi Arabia.
That ain't none of my business.
Now,
that is what it is.
Right, but now we do have Fury and Wilder.
Yeah.
You've been very vocal on things that obviously you know that we don't about Wilder and his preparation for this third fight. Just tell us a little bit about what you're looking forward to most in this third fight, because people seem to like completely have blown off Wilder, like he didn't have 10 successful title defenses, like he wasn't, you know, one of the best heavyweight champs we've had in recent years.
But it's the age-old thing. When you have a setback, you know, you're just gonna get criticized, and that's what it is. It's up to Deontay to change that around. And I'm of the mindset, very confident that he's gonna get that shit done. He's gonna get that shit done this time. Trust and believe that.
You like what you're seeing in the training clips?
Yeah, I love it.
Plus, I mean, the performance Fury had, it's kind of hard to duplicate that, being just the way that fight was.
Yeah, I mean, Fury's good. I mean, he's good. He's a good fighter. He's a good fighter, but let's not act like he's some killer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's a good fighter. Good fighter.
After this fight, what do you see next for Tank? After this fight,
Mario Barrios. That's all I see. That's all I see. Again, because when you get to looking ahead, that's how you make mistakes. You get tripped up and you fall. Again, there's nothing bigger than Mario Barrios. Nothing. Nothing than nobody.
What else, some of your other fighters that we haven't talked about yet, is there anyone else you can mention has something coming up or we might see in the ring soon?
We got a few things up our sleeve. Obviously, Aria, she's coming off a great win against her.
Big underdog. I think it was like plus 900 here.
Yeah. Well, somebody I know won a lot of money.
Did you tell him to bet it?
Huh?
Did you tell him to bet it?
Somebody I know won a lot of money. That's all I know. I'd have bet it.
What about Badu too? Obviously, it wasn't the fight he wanted, but he took care of business with the late replacement.
Yeah, and you know, I was just happy, you know, me and Floyd, that we were able to find him an opponent, you know, because he worked so damn hard and he was so psyched for, you know, the Pascal fight, and then, you know, have that kind of letdown. You know, sometimes you can just kind of, you know, take your foot off the gas a little bit, and, you know, but he did exactly what he needed to do. He was an undefeated guy coming in, and he disposed of him exactly how he was supposed to.
You looking at a world title shot probably for him next?
Well, yeah, of course.
I think the title's probably going to get stripped here in the near future.
Yeah, and again, we'll sit down and we'll have a conversation what he wants to do. But yeah, most definitely.
And Leonard,
Most definitely.
do you feel like that was the last time we'll ever see Floyd in the boxing ring last Sunday?
I don't know. I mean, again, I thought it was a very good exhibition, and he went out there and he did exactly how I envisioned him doing. The only caveat that was in there, it was the other guy just didn't want to mix it up, and you know, people, I've read a lot where they said that he was, just trying to survive. I don't probably want to use that word, but I think that he tasted something early on. You know, when I went back and watched it, he tasted that, and he said, "I want no parts of that." And you know, the little guy was walking the big guy down, walking him down. And all the big guy was trying to do was hold and grab and hold. That's all he wanted to do. He never wanted to engage at any time. And so, hey, you know, it is what it is. It's impossible to clip somebody when, you know, when they're of the mindset all they're looking to do is hold you. You know, but hey, that's
and I asked too, Leonard, because you know beforehand you mentioned like the McGregor rematch, and he was, you know, Jake Paul could get it too, and then it became that might be the last time, you know.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
That's solely up to Floyd, and he knows whatever he wants, you know, to do.
You heard him.
He gonna do it.
Mayweather Promotions have a lot of their hands tied in a lot of entertainment right now. Is there a possibility that you guys can come back in August for the WWE with Floyd Mayweather again? Just throwing it out there. Just throwing it out there. You know.
Who knows what Floyd wants to do, and you know. But one thing we do know: anytime he wants to do something, it's gonna be incredibly big and successful.
I mean, why would we? Also, go ahead.
So with these YouTubers now coming into boxing, you just had from a promoter's experience the first-hand take of seeing how it goes with a guy like Logan Paul. What do you think of it now that it's over? Just working with a guy like him and his team.
No, it was great. It was great.
A little different, you know, fan base.
Yeah. You know, they're great people to work with. He has a great attorney. You have a very close relationship. He has a very good manager, and he has a good, excellent team around him. And again, you know, I just wish he would have came and you know, because
Let the fans go a little bit more.
yeah, you know, but hey, it was an exhibition, and you know, one thing was for damn sure, can't fault Floyd for not pressing him. You know, he didn't sit back and do no moving around. He was walking his ass all the way down.
Are you guys still entertaining a Jake Paul fight?
Who said we was ever entertaining the Jake Paul fight?
The pay-per-view figures I've seen for Sunday's fight in Miami, did they get 600,000 plus? Does that sound about right? Is this a
No.
number that just got
No, that's incredibly wrong.
incredibly
Wrong.
low side? Which
Wrong.
you say on the low